Morning, aka Hatters. Yeah, we're in the middle of the workday. So what's going to happen is, well, not in the middle. You know, it's 8 o'clock. My phone's going to start going off soon. But I got some work to do. I'm behind on a couple projects, a couple pieces. Namely this pig one here, which is for my. So this year I decided to do. I've done it before, but this year I decided to get it done earlier than later. Trading card artwork that I mail out to people who get original artwork from yours truly. So we're going to be working on him. He doesn't have a name, but this is also a drawing. So on the whole idea is on the back of the trading card, you'll see the original concept for this, and I it's something I drew when I was a kid. So the whole idea is like 30 years apart, 20 years apart. I drew this when I was younger. I'm drawing it now. Let's see the improvements. So or like differences, we'll say, not really improvements. Right now, I am looking for a scratch piece of paper that I don't seem to be able. I need a little bit of scratch paper so that I can ink. And we will just use, let's see here. Sorry, guys, we're like all over here. Because what we have here is, there we go, this, all of this. All right, and now that quickly we're organizing paper off camera. Something I did not want to do. So usually here, I'll have one or two that are misprints. And I don't know if I see that. But it needs to be heavy stock paper. So if we have that, I might just have to pull a white blank, which we'll do here. Okay, we'll just pull this. We have our scratch paper here. So scratch paper is important because we want to control the ink flow from the crow quill here. And also along the way, have control over the textures and the way we're using this. So it's there. So cheers. Good morning. Well, that is dark. I still got to do stuff with the with the lights here. And let me grab my phone. So I've been trying to organize things off camera so that when I reach for items, I don't reach across the camera. We'll crack open the blinds. Sorry, guys, we are still doing a couple things. Sorry, guys. Already lining up phone calls for later. But yeah. We have our first bot coming in from from Kick. Kick is dangerous with the bots. I guess maybe I say this every time I get a Kick bot. I just gotta stop streaming there. Here we go. All right, yeah, let's get to work. Let's draw some piggy boy here. Now, I was last working on this. I was trying to watch some football, and I decided to come here just because the fiance, the absolute love of my life, she was kind of footballed out that day. So I said, let me just do two things at once. Let me watch some football and live stream. And I think that was wasn't football, right? It wasn't playoffs because playoffs started this week, but it might have been that Niners Seahawks game that I absolutely love watching. So I think I'll be doing more of that just to kind of give myself another, like a different reason to sit down, because other than my schedule, I haven't been good with getting streams going, and that's a lot of that is because I've been working on a lot of things like off camera that can't be on camera, per the requests of the collaborator or a project, like the requirements of the project. Trying to give this a little bit more variation here too. And he's going to have like hairy piggy arms. So hair is always absolutely fun to render. It's just cool. It's a good challenge. Yeah, and I'm hoping to I would just like to get into a rhythm of doing some of these streams at night. And I kind of was there right before like the new year hit. And then again too, it's just like, life gets so busy for me sometimes. I feel like I can barely catch a breath. And I still have to work on his right leg here. Just doesn't look good, or it doesn't look correct, I'll say. Sorry, we're on my other screen here. We're bringing up the my email. There we go. Sorry, email's got to be live sometimes. So let's do some of this texture. Yeah, and yesterday, one of my local coffee shops, that's kind of like, so I manage a lot when I have to move around the city. And if I'm kind of, like multiple stops, different people I have to see. And, this can range from like Philly Gov to like private contractors. Uh, a little bit of some of these halfway points between offices and things. So like I'll load up my bag. So I'll have like content to either edit or release. And then I will also have stuff to read. So like, like I bring my work and then I'll bring kind of like the online stuff with me to work on. So having excuse me. So having coffee houses is absolutely critical in my just like everyday movements. And a critical one, I walked around the corner down the street yesterday and it was effing closed. And that, like the way that interrupts my week, or like almost just like my life in general, it's major. And I dealt with that a lot during COVID because so many of these like halfway spots for me closed during COVID. And since then, like some of them have like reopened, or like the locations kind of like switched ownership or whatever, which was huge. But then I don't know, like we're kind of back at this retraction period here in Philly, and it's not a good sign because it kind of makes you think people just don't want to do business here. I don't know if you guys can hear, but the Philly sirens are going off right now. Most likely down Broad Street. No, not coming here. No, we're not doing good. We're missing some of these lines. We're missing some of these easy, sweet opportunities. See, I get frustrated sometimes when some of it looks like a little bit too clear, because like you still try and render, draw, and ink within like an atmosphere. Like in a way, you're drawing around the object. You're trying to draw the light around the object. If that makes any sense to any of you. Sorry. We are back and forth. But I mean, like all of the tough work's done on this. I mean, I still have to figure out the rocks and some of the, I had the idea of putting some jewels like around him, maybe, or maybe just like one in sight. I don't know. We are trying to figure all that out as we go along. Oh, hey Rex. Rex, let me know. I want to come on your show, Rex. I was literally thinking about just texting you too. Well, not right now, but I got something George Perez if you want to have a look at it. And I can share it with you on Devil Momentum. So like let me know. If what time if you did it today, if you don't have any other guests, what time do you normally do it? Like 4? And yes, good morning. Yeah, hitting that like there we go. Amazing drawing. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so like I try to show off the comments as quickly as possible. It's tough sometimes because we're drawing, and this is a production draw stream. You know, I gotta do these. It's fun to do these, but I gotta do them with the purpose to get things done. So anyone that's new, I do apologize if I don't get to your comment right away. But that's why we're here to work. Trying to see how clear. I have to get a better second screen too. I don't think it's 100% clear, and it bothers me when I check on if I'm in focus or not, and it's not crystal clear. Oh, we got another. Oh, I love those kick bots. Yeah, we might be done with kick at this point. I don't understand the like how can the network? I guess it does explain how some of the people on kick can kind of like I guess kick doesn't regulate, so it's just all bots. One second here, everyone. We're just trying to. Should have turned the page on this here. That's like primarily what you have to kind of keep excuse me, keep track of sometimes is the page position. Because the angle of the paper sometimes can dictate how well you can taper a line. Only inkers know that. Some of the double lighting on these kneecaps here is not hitting. Oh, thank you. Sorry, missed that one. Yeah, we don't do AI art here. Thank you, Anna. As I don't know if you know, but I am a huge fan of Lilo and Stitch. Huge. So in here too. So this is where we got like inner halo part of his work glove. If you guys aren't familiar, you know, I come up with different names for it, but the inner halo is where the line work, you know, like you can't run the line work into other line work. It creates it makes it a little bit too clear, and I think it kills the illusion. Which is also what we're doing, like right here too. And this one did not hit as well. Son of a bitch. Should have been more of a contour. Should hit the position of the ribs more accurately. Just look at. I mean, you design things along the way too, like his the bottom of the pike here. So some of it is a back and forth between like penciling and inking, and you kind of you toggle it. But we're kind of here now. The more I look at this leg, right, like the more I'm kind of happy with it. I thought this leg was in a little bit more trouble. All right. Sorry. Just had to send messages. One of them to our boy Rex, too. All right. Let's get back here. I like some of that, and I dislike some of that, or some of this right here. That this little piece from the pickaxe. I don't know why it's just not moving the chain for me. I don't know why. That happens sometimes. Like you don't have a look of something in your mind's eye, but like you have enough technique to kind of like pull it off. And sometimes that happens well, and sometimes it doesn't. We're experimenting having the coffee on the left side today, AK Patters. And look, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's like here and like up here. Like this is the Philly morning. This is like the Philly sunshine breaking in through the city, through the buildings, through the clouds. It's amazing. It's awesome. I love having my drawing table here. All right, so let's just get back to some penciling, because we got to figure out this leg here. And you got to contour it enough, like you got to hit all of the right bumps and overlap, because forms are going to overlap. Now, we're not talking about foreshortening here. Thank you. Give me a second. I see you here. Thank you, Farrell. Yeah, I'm just trying to like get things to look. Like I always have the idea, like as cool as possible, as like fantastical and fantasy as possible, and that's always my intention. I think like results vary. I think sometimes I nail it way quicker or more accurately than others. But I am flattered. Thank you. See, like maybe this leg works. Like I just, I'm really as I'm drawing a tethered boot. I'm torn on this. Pun intended, right? See, it's really kind of like the quad here. Like I feel like it needs to pop a little bit more. Jay, Jay, um, if you're going to stick with me for a couple seconds, dude. Yeah, I saw you tag me. Oh my god, dude! Yesterday got away from me. I totally forgot to check that. Yeah, let me like let's schedule. So here's the thing for I know you wanted to do the end of Turner. Well, like if we can do that this week, let me know. But so the other documentary that we discussed, I'm doing additional research on. Uh, so we can kind of like maybe like do that not in a different format, but kind of be able to add a hell of a lot more. So the other documentary, I'm going through and kind of like time stamping it and having like cues for me, uh, which I can share with you. But the other documentary, not the Michael Turner one, but the other one, uh, I'm thinking we can kind of go in all gas and do something complete and special. But dude, I love the comic book stuff that you've been doing. The Luke Cage, we're somewhat we're somewhat twin flames, dude, because I had that Luke Cage queued up in my stuff. So yeah, which was but I had it queued up more towards the what that Luke Cage like or what that we'll say like what that version of Luke Cage does with the Punisher, but also to the Dwayne Turner artwork, which is fantastic for that issue. So now, like his tethered boot here just looks a little bit too tethered, right? Yeah, yeah, dude. Like it's funny. So, but I would like to kind of like I would like to find a way to like it's almost as if like I had a little bit of the idea, and I know this is like nuts. Like to kind of like not to watch your channel and then within like a 2 month time period see like what books you've done, what books I've done, and see which ones like we kind of like cross paths on. So like something like that Cage #1, and then we do like a live stream where we kind of like compare notes, and it's a book that we both are like very familiar with. I mean, I think that's just like a bunch of fun. And I think that's kind of like more, it's more about the comic book reading experience than anything. But the, and the cross gen stuff too, which is like we are very congruent on cross gen. I was just at a show this past weekend with a buddy of mine, and like I was kind of like 50-50 looking for cross gen, and I didn't get like a good enough vein of it, but one of the vendors had, and I think he kind of wanted a little bit like just a little too much for it, but he had Sovereign for like $3 an issue, and he had like 1 through like 20 something. And for some reason, I think people are paranoid to dump the cross gen stuff because of like that Mystic, what was it, Mystic #1, kind of like shot up because it has what they call like the first comic book appearance of Harry Potter, but it's just Harry Potter drawn in the background of of like her world. It's like a group shot, and some Brandon Peterson like drew in Harry Potter. It's like one of the weirdest keys now, and I think people kind of hold the cross gen stuff close to the chest. Because like they're paranoid that they're going to let someone walk away with like a major book or a major key. But every single calendar year, Fatal, I say more cross gen for the channel and more Malibu or Ultraverse. Have like not quite there yet. Yeah, he is a beast, dude. Like he is like he's one of those guys too, like the way if you line up his like late 80s throughout the 90s, if you really laid out his work, you'll see he's like one of the only guys of the era that came out of the 80s, and he's like he adjusted his style, like the different looks you get from Dwayne Turner, very unique for the era, like very individual. Yeah, it's like right, like the like some of it is, it was almost like of course they went bankrupt type stuff, but I'm still like that's where like there's like secret comic book knowledge, I'll say, because cross gen like right, like they didn't go bankrupt, right? They got bought by Marvel, right? Like that. There's a lot of that, Jay, that I am still like confused on, and there has never been like post commentary on it. I was always under the impression that they got like just like Malibu, they got bought by Marvel and kind of like buried by Marvel. Even though Marvel did some really good crossovers with Ultraverse, Black September, building out the Infinity Gem lore. Really like nice stuff from George Perez. Nice promo thing, like the mail away Gambit Nightman stuff. So, and then when that happens, like there was a lot of Ultraverse in the media. You had live action and television, but there was a time where like some of the cross gen properties were in development at like Columbia and Disney. They were working on an animated one for the Mike Plog, Abba Kaziz, whatever called, that was like one of the later cross gen titles, but it was Mike Plog did the artwork for it. I forget who worked on the script side or the plot side with Mike. But I like that was like in development at Disney Animation. There's probably a development file like with artwork for that right now. Yeah, but cross gen, I just think deserves a bit of a, like second look. I'll say in like in a big way. I haven't watched the Hush one yet, and I have to. I'll do that. I guess like what I could do is, I could like EFAP it, like just so I'm at the drawing table, I can draw, I can kind of like hang inadvertently hang out with you. Yeah, they had wanted to hire Michael Turner. Yeah, it's just because they were even doing like, do you remember the Forge books? Like, I kind of wanted to. That was almost like my idea for like a launch video for a cross gen series, was to highlight Forge. It was they had two books. It was Forge and Edge. Excuse me, and Forge and Edge were like trade paperback size, and I think they sold for $10, and they just reprinted cross gen books, so you could spend $10 and you could get like an issue of Mystic and Sigil and like whatever else they were like kind of like promoting or offering at the time. And that was like such an awesome aggressive idea, and they sold. Like, that's the thing, like this is where uh some of the stuff we know about cross gen, I kind of like, I just think it's not 100%, because I saw those books sell. Like, I was there, I was selling them, they sold every month, and people bought the trade paperbacks, and people bought Forge and Edge. And or I could just be wrong, and what the hell do I know? What the hell does Peter know? So some of this, I'll tell you right now, this knee here, it doesn't connect. There's problems with the knee, guys. But I wanted the right leg here to be less detailed, also, just because it's not a focal point. So we make choices like that along the way, guys. You gotta make a couple choices along the way to what the focus is. And that's like illustration in a nutshell. Oh, I butchered that cross action there. That's going to get that's a whiteout right there. Wow. Like maybe like that sounds a little familiar, but that's a great tidbit there, Jay. CrossGen was like a real like that's the thing too. Like and CrossGen was on a management and support level for the talent. They were Disney esque. Like they supported their guys. They wanted everyone to live together and work together. And like there's truth to that. Thank you, Asakura, coming in too from Twitch. Thank you. This is yeah, and and like I almost want to say, uh, like like kind of I do understand, like image kind of like breaking up or changing or evolving or like however you want to phrase it, but like changing, right? Like image shifted from the image that you and I wanted essentially, which was we wanted like the founding books never to go away, and we wanted kind of like more books like that. But I always felt like for example, like when Jim Lee sold Wildstorm, there should have been something to where like he signed over a couple characters from Wildstorm to like the image board or like front office, and you know everyone would have characters that they could share into like a collective pool, so that you can do like you can continue to use the characters in like different ways. And I guess like the last time we saw that, right, was like some of the Invincible stuff, right? Like incorporated some of the founding characters. The one book, dude, that I am like getting more and more like and maybe this is like a little bit for video prep, but it's Darkhawk, dude. And there's like Darkhawk or Shadowhawk, I'm sorry. Shadowhawk to me is like for one thing good, you get like two things bad. And the more I get into Shadowhawk, the less I feel like it's a founding book. And I'm trying to find a quote from I think Rob Liefeld talked about it, about how like McFarlane didn't want Valentino. And I was like, I'm looking to exact that quote because I want to talk about it when we do our next documentary. And that's what I mean about just like having things lined up for that next show. I don't know about that. That leg's bothering me. Yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean, Valentino was a Eric Larson, Rob Liefeld guy, and I know, like that's the thing. That's why I have to find the exact way it was said, how it was said, when it was said. But McFarlane supposedly did not want Valentino, or like Rob Liefeld wanted Valentino, McFarlane did not. So there you go. Right, but in a weird way, right? Like Shadow the Hawk, Shadow the Hawk, I think has resonated with people, and I don't think a lot of people know like what happens inside that book, which is very funny to me. Like like it, like someone will just be like, "Oh, Shadowhawk! Like I love Shadowhawk." They'll go on and on, breaking people's backs, looked awesome, right, on top of buildings, but they can't tell you anything about him. So that's a little bit of what I've been kind of like building for the channel, but at the same time, I don't have a place for it at this. So it might be like a Saturday or like a Sunday video. So some of this, I'm gonna have to get rid of some of these pencil lines to see what I have here for the leg. It might be enough. This is the one problem with being, uh, like kind of like as sketchy and loose as I am sometimes. But I'm my own inker, so I can do this. If if I wasn't, yeah, I would be at fault because the lines would have to make sense for the inker, and if they didn't, uh, that's me not doing my job. Yeah, Shadow the Hawk had AIDS, but he also dies though. Like he kills Shadow the Hawk, and then he makes him into a this legacy character that never stuck. Right, like Cowboy Shadowhawk. Like Shadowhawk's not the character for that. He's just not. And to me, that was like a little bit of like square peg round hole. But he did this like so there's an Alan Moore story. There's an Alan Moore Egyptian Shadowhawk that will be profiled sooner than later on the channel for sure, because it's Alan Moore. So like Alan Moore would get a like a Thursday video, because we kind of I pretty much have a like a system now, like a like a place for the types of videos I do, and that Egyptian Images of Shadowhawk story, and that whole one shot in general, which also has a Kurt Busiek story, which is great by the way. Um, it like just absolutely demystified that character, because like the cool thing with Shadowhawk at one time, right, was that he was like savage and like unhinged and like street level, and somewhere along the line, it was just like, oh, like we'll give him AIDS and we'll kill him. We'll kill this awesome design. And there's things that the audience associates with the character sometimes. So like when you subvert the character and you say, well, it's the same costume. But it's also like a different guy, and like you may not want that. You may not connect to it. Like it's funny. Rad is in the house. Game. Thank you. Let me look over here. Hold up. Let me see if I said that right. Kagami. Kagami, dude. Dude, I love that. I love that Gooner icon. I just had to explain to people what a Gooner was during football season. But my group friend football chat, well, we were going back and forth about what bar to watch one of the games at, and two of the guys were just going back and forth about likes and dislikes, and this one has that has that, and I'm like, guys, it doesn't matter where we goon. Like, we're going to goon here or goon there. But a lot of people don't know what a gooner is. I love it. So good. Thank you so much. Rad in the house. Oh, that was Rad that said this. Yes. Rad. Shadowhawk had AIDS. Yes. Back in 9F, Shadowhawk #1 had another appearance. Can't remember. It's a back. Oh, it's a back of Shadow. Yeah. Shadowhawk's first appearance was Youngblood #2, right? So Youngblood, no, or Youngblood 3. So between Youngblood #2 and 3, you get the first appearance of Prophet Supreme and Shadowhawk, and Pit. So like 4 kind of like really significant first appearances. You would think those issues would be in the dozens and hundreds. Let's see here. Yeah, I love your PFP. Yeah, dude, it's hilarious. This is, I love that, dude. It's funny too, because like once people understand what a gooner is, like once you explain it to them, which I don't think you should have to, because I to me it's like in the vernacular, it's like common language, but like once you explain it, like everyone kind of knows what it is. Like like because they know someone. Like like everyone knows a gooner. I love it now that they call those girl, like the like Morning Glory Milking Farm, like those female, like those Amazon romance. One of them's like Morning Glory Milking Farm, and but they call them like girl gooner books or gooner romance novels. And I love it. I think it's hilarious. It's one of the cooler things, like the cooler observations that's come about the last couple of years. But also true, and there's a little bit of like a gooner, like there's an industry now thanks to OnlyFans, right? Like, so there's like a little bit of like truth to that observation, where it is like like an epidemic. It's a little bit funny and weird. But I also feel like dudes have always been like that. Dude, I had someone one time go, I'm not joking, go on, and I don't even think they realized what they were doing. Go on and on about the best time to get to the beach, where you have to sit, how you have to know where to sit, meaning, right, like some level of institutional knowledge, all to goon at girls the best way possible. And this is a guy that, I'm not joking, completely normal dude, but to hear that level of like like exactness or the specificity of it. That's it. The specificity of what he was saying. You're almost just like dude, like you have a secret life and you don't even realize it. I've never thought about that. Never thought about it. It's just funny. I'm like usually I'm like excited to be at the beach. If I'm at the bar, I'm excited to get the alcohol, and like I'm not kind of looking for the bartender, like type stuff. But some dudes goon, some guys goon. Yeah, OnlyFans. I know. Oh yeah, like Gunnar. Like so, I will say this, right? Like Gunnar, at one time, right? Like the word migrated, like Goonies, the movie, like which was kind of like wasn't really dumb. Gunnar was like more of a if you were uh like I'm trying to if you were like self-aware and goofy and kind of silly and stupid. Like that's a gooner, meaning you're joking, you're messing around, you're not being serious, or like maybe you say one or two things like off key. Like when I was growing up, you could call someone like a dork, or like if they were kind of leaning towards like edge lord stuff, you could call them a gooner. A gooner was just like a darker dork, if that makes any sense. But now, like, right, and is Gooner derived from Cooner? Like, that's what I heard with the if you want to like kind of talk about like the origin of some of this, right? Like, I thought Gooner was a spin on the term Cooner, and Cooner was really what Gooners are. I could be wrong. You gotta know about the internet if you're going to be on it. I'll say that. All right, so we're making halfway decent progress on this, though, guys. Like, what are we 90 minutes, roughly 90 minutes in? Ugh, I gotta fix this right here. I'm sorry, guys. One of my rules is like no whiteout until like we've erased, because you can kind of just do like a round of whiteout. But this right here, are you a gooner? I'm not. uh, I'm not a gooner, but uh, uh, yeah, I think right. Like we all kind of have like aspects of it, though, right? Like it's still. I mean, I think there's like, oh my god, I'm going to sound like so like culturally. I think I love this part. Hey, this right here. Where are we? Right here. That. Excuse me. I will say that. I mean, I think culturally, like we, like I'm not joking, dude. Like I can go to some coffee houses right now to do some like morning work, and the barista and the people, like the girls working there, because like I would, if I was a gooner, I would goon on babes. That's just the way I am. Uh, like some of the girls are like, you're almost just like, holy crap, dude! Like they're just dressed a certain way, they're looking a certain way, and you're just like beside yourself. You're like, this is the modern world. Like holy crap, and it's perfectly like truthful to admit that that girl might catch your eye a couple times while sipping your cappuccino. That girl might be in your head next time you go back to that place. uh like, and if you go out to bars, if you go to a restaurant, I mean, they're kind of like everywhere you would be. But where they're not is used bookstores, which is where I spend a lot of my time. But no, I think it's a little bit of the world, but I also feel like it's seeing, like recognizing people and seeing people, right? Like some of it is like, oh wow, like that person is overly attractive, like you're almost just like taken aback by it. I think that's just like living in the world. But I think gooning, right? Like gooning's not really that though, right? Like gooning's like more. I like. What would you say? Gooning is more lustful. No, I got like a tickle in my throat that I just have it like all day. A lot of times when I start talking, the tickle. It's a tickle. All right, so we kind of butchered the leg here. We gave that thing a shot of whiteout. Let's see here. Yeah, random emojis. Thank you. Yeah, I think any. Oh no, we smeared this one right here. Son of a. Oh my god, and that was a good spot. Holy crap, we got to fix that right here. What the hell happened here? Holy shit. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully, like this, like people come by, subscribe, support. Like we're we're a growing channel, a growing network. Subscribe, support, leave a comment, give me a like. Let me know you're out there. I respond to everything, including the extreme criticisms. I guess like throughout the years too, I'm a little bit more like maybe agitated as what I would view like a tourist comment, like someone that clearly doesn't watch enough of the channel, but kind of like comes in and thinks they know better. Well, regardless, though, I am beyond happy with this progress. I think we got there with this one. Yeah, and then this will be a trading card. One side will be the original drawing, and one side will be the 2025 2026 updated version. But guys, I think I gotta get out of here. It is the work day. Yes. All right, Kagami. Kagami now is texting his emojis. Thank you, Kagami, dude. You were fun. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. But everyone, we got one more from him. Yes. We will leave with this.